Hi there, and welcome to the Cotswold Explorer. I'm Robin Shuckburgh, and we're exploring the wonderful region of the Cotswolds in southwest England. We've decided to revisit the centre of the region and find some hidden gems, places that are not quite so famous, but still just as beautiful. Once in a while, everything falls perfectly into place. We're standing in the centre of the village of Windrush, named after the largest of the rivers that run eastwards off the Cotswolds. It's a beautiful river valley, but we find ourselves in a village that seems entirely to have avoided the dead hand of the developer. This place looks as though it's the same as it has been for the last several hundred years. The beautiful Norman church behind me, which we'll visit in a second, the streets, the little bits of green covered in cowslips and buttercups and forget-me-nots, thriving in the spring sunshine. There is nothing that can be more wonderful. Let me show you round. Windrush lies about halfway between Northleach and Burford, on the south side of the river from which it derives its name. The village sits on an outcrop of what's called inferior oolite stone, but around it are several abandoned great oolite quarries, from which, no doubt, most of the houses and cottages were built. The village green is an unenclosed triangle of grass, filled at this time of the year, as I've already said, with wild flowers and insects, and surrounded by 17th and 18th century houses. The Norman church, dedicated to St. Peter, was built in the mid-12th century, and whilst it was once a chapel of the Church of Great Barrington, by the end of the 12th century a perpetual vicarage had been established. The south doorway arch has a double set of beak heads, nearly all of them with almond-shaped eyes. The beak head is a Norman decoration, found in many of the churches round here. This is a particularly great example. The chancel arch, certainly original 12th century work, has ornate twisted jamb shafts leaning conspicuously outwards. The font is the usual 15th century style, octagonal, with an ornate stem, and the pulpit is Jacobean, of carved wood, and I think particularly lovely. Outside the church is a collection of extremely fine chest and pedestal tombs. Everywhere are signs of the importance of the wool trade in the area. On the tombs, on the ceiling of the church itself, and on many of the gravestones, images of sheep are all over the place. It's also apparent, however, that quite a bit of the land round here was used to grow grain. The beautiful mill on the river just north of the village is one of several there used to be in medieval times. Windrush was a major provider of flour to the local area. There's obviously been some expansion of Windrush over the centuries, but it's marked how well this has been done, disturbing the feel and atmosphere of the place as little as possible. Our valued travel companion Herbert Evans laments the intrusion of red brick and tiles into the Cotswolds in general, already apparent in 1905 when he roamed the area. But that intrusion pales into insignificance when compared to what was done to the area in the subsequent 100 years. Not, fortunately, in this gem of a place, the village of Windrush. About a mile southwest of the village is Windrush Camp, an Iron Age hill fort, roughly circular and enclosing about 3 acres. The bank survives to a height of about 6 or 7 feet. The valley is crisscrossed with public footpaths, and of all the Cotswold valleys it is the one I've walked the most. There are many sources to guide you on where to go, but coming away from the valley today, Ross and I are thinking it might be useful for us to provide some walking guidance of our own. We'll be working on it. We've had such a wonderful time walking around this village. It's amazing when you discover that a place named after a river that you know to be one of the most beautiful rivers in the world lives up to its name. This village is extraordinary, unspoiled and wonderful. I hope you've enjoyed our little tour. Don't forget to visit our website, where you can have a look at all our podcasts, our audiobooks and all kinds of other things that we do. You can find us on all the usual platforms, of course. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we will see you next week.